Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV on PlayFrame. It's a cloudy day at the Crystarium, but that's okay, we're leaving. We've got to go start ourselves another raid story. Yes, today we will embark on another of the raids added in post-launch content for Shadowbringers, the Eden raid series. And I'm looking forward to it because I've not seen it in years, and it's got some really cool stuff in it that I am looking forward to revisiting. I believe the quest line will start by talking with you. And there's lots to do today, so I'm just gonna scoot. Hello. One of the Crystarium guards is particularly relieved to have found you. I don't feel like you can take credit for this. I came and found you. Ah, Derman, have you seen Reen? She's been looking for you. Wait here, I'll go and get her. Thank you. There you are. The truth is, I need your help. Now, hold on, I haven't even told you what it is yet. I'm just used to agreeing whenever someone runs up to me, Reen. After you defeated Emmett Selk, I sensed a strange concentration of light, somewhere far to the south. In the empty, the lands that were once swallowed by the flood. I can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. But whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Urianger, and I have a few theories that we plan to test once we find whatever's causing this. The three of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything that you've been through. The thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it would be a good idea to have you there, just in case. So, will you come with us? Perhaps we should let sleeping dogs lie. Oh, come on, Derman. That would be a short and very boring episode. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Derman. This means a lot. First of all, let's head to the derrick in Amareng. Thancred and Urianger should have everything ready by now. Okay. Let's get ourselves to Amareng, post-haste. And dust storms, of course. Hey, actually, before we head out, I think that since we're going to be embarking on a new raid series, this calls for a new look. Excuse me. Here we are. Looking pretty good, pretty snazzy. And I put this one together myself, even. A rare bit of fashion that I actually assembled without assistance. It feels like an appropriate look for the adventures we are about to embark on today, for reasons that will become increasingly clear, maybe. Or maybe it'll just look good on its own. I don't know. In either case, you can be certain that I guess it is now all covered in sand, so definitely not going to be able to return this to the store. 'Tis a blessing to see thee so hale. Thank you. Likewise. Sorry to drag you all the way out here. I have a feeling you'll miss this place when you see where we're going next, though. Ah, do tell. I hope the desert creatures didn't give you too much trouble on the way here. I doubt they posed any sort of challenge to him. Would that I could say the same with confidence about whatever fiend may be waiting for us out there. Even if the light that Reen sensed turns out to be nothing of consequence, the empty is hardly the most welcoming of places. Anything that could survive out there is not to be trifled with. Moreover, it should be reiterated that the light-blasted wasteland poseth as severe a threat as any foe we might face. In any event, we are in agreement that this phenomenon doth warrant investigation. Though for lack of more precise means of navigation, we must needs rely on Reen's innate abilities to guide us. I have formed several hypotheses regarding the nature of the light, but speculation is a poor substitute for first-hand observation. I followed most of that. There'll be plenty of time for us to talk about it on the way. Is the Sky Slipper ready, Thancred? Ready to take us wherever we need to go. Aye. Back again, too, maybe, if we ask it nicely. Though the light hath been expunged from Norvrent, the ambient ether of the empty is still corrupted. Dangerously so, in fact. The flood of light devastated everything in its wake. The soil, the air, the water, all rendered incapable of supporting life. 'Tis due to this imbalance that the empty remaineth utterly uninhabitable, even a century thereafter. That's why we're taking every possible precaution. Between the etherometers I've packed and Reen's unique abilities, we should be able to detect and measure any fluctuations in our alignments. According to the Crystarium scouts, a few days out there won't affect us to any noticeable degree, but much longer than that, and we risk becoming sin-eaters. Since we still don't know how Chocobos and Amaro will fare in the empty, we opted for a more mechanical mode of transportation. This comes courtesy of the researchers at the Mean, who found it in the Crystal Tower and restored it to working order. Neat. It's quite safe, I promise. The person in charge said he'll have parts delivered from the Crystarium should anything break. He seemed quite eager to see what we bring back from the empty, even though I told him we're not hunting for treasure. I'll introduce you if we have a chance to stop by Mordsuk at some point. Anyway, I think that covers everything. When you're ready to leave, just say the word. I'm so ready to leave. No more dust storm for me, thank you. Although the flood of light is believed to have expunged all traces of life from the empty, we must remain ever vigilant. We know not what we shall find. While I'm piloting and Reen's navigating, you and Urianger will be free to enjoy the view and engage in rousing conversation. By that, I mean he can spend the whole time talking at you while you nod in agreement. Yes, that is how I understand conversation with Urianger to work, as well. Well then, shall we? Let us depart for the empty. A new location for us. With a name like the Empty, I wasn't expecting much in the way of pleasant scenery, but this is downright depressing. To look on the land swallowed by the flood with mine own eyes, 'tis a chilling sight indeed. Approximately 9/10 of this world are as this, a slate all but wiped clean. Were it not for the warriors of darkness and Minfilia. Reen, are you sure we're heading in the right direction? Yes, I'm certain. There's no telling how far away it is, though. Nothing for it but to keep going, then. You two back there may as well take a nap. I have a feeling we've a good few moms ahead of us. I have to say, it's a touch larger than I was expecting. And is it sleeping? Oh. Welcome to the Empty. No, it's waking up. I don't like the sound of that. Is it a light warden? No, I don't think so. Instead of being filled with light, it is light. The first sin-eater. Long have I strived to unravel the mysteries surrounding the flood of light, to discover what set that terrible cataclysm in motion. Every thread led to the same conclusion, the same single point. Or single being. I have reason to believe that the entity we see before us is the first Sin Eater, the instigator of the Flood, the very foe Minfilia vanquished a century ago. She gave everything she had, and won. But this abomination could undo her work. Aye, the possibility cannot be denied, though it is oft said that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same coin. Reen, knowest thou of what I speak? The power to shape reality, to bend the laws of nature, for what was once shattered may be forged anew. That's all well and good, but don't you think we should give it a name first? Eden. Utopia in Fae. A most auspicious title. I like it. Now that that's settled, perhaps we should find a spot to set up camp. I even brought a couple of tents on the off chance, but pitching the damn things is something of a fine art. Does anyone fancy helping me? Oh, what fun. Reen and I get to go on a camping trip with our two dads. Delightful. Also, familiar tunes. Yes. Welcome to the Empty, and to the Eden Raid series, which does take quite a bit of influence, and perhaps even a little bit of imagery and certainly music, from Final Fantasy VIII. If you are a fan of Final Fantasy VIII, excellent news for you. You're going to find a lot to like in this series. Anyway, good job with the tents, us. Gracious. Though frequent rest may allay the symptoms of prolonged exposure to the Empty's ambient ether, 'twould be unwise to linger here overlong. Good advice. Let's move it along then. I never realized that putting tents up could be such a bother. Still, I'm glad that we got there in the end. Thancred should be back from scouting the area soon. Once he's here, we can plan our next move. Fantastic. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Gul Gul in Mordsuk or Yal Yal in Yulmore. I don't see how that's relevant to this, but okay, thank you. Reen waits anxiously for Thancred to return from surveying the vicinity. Me too, because we can't do anything until then. I wonder what's taking Thancred so long. Oh, there he is. Well, that was rather uneventful. Not that I'm complaining. Did you find anything? No, thankfully. There's naught but barren plains in every direction, apart from Eden, obviously. I tried approaching it, and the brute didn't even seem to notice me. I thought it best not to tempt fate, so I withdrew. We should act now before it's fully awake. Meaning what, exactly? When I think about the flood of light, I get the feeling that rather than destroying everything in its path, what it actually did was stop the flow of ether. Of course, that meant that all of the plants, animals, and people here could no longer survive. They must have crumbled to dust in the years since. But the ether is still here, lying dormant. If Eden's the one that caused it, maybe it can get it flowing again. I don't know for certain, but I think I can use Eden to bring life back to the Empty. Now, hold on a moment. What makes you think that's even possible? And how do you expect to control that kind of power? Reen's aspirations may not be as preposterous as thou dost surmise. I believe Minfilia halted the Flood of Light's advance not by destroying Eden, but by silencing it. And in so doing, she hath gifted us an opportunity too precious to waste. Even now, the flame of hope burns on. Aye. As Minfilia's successor, it standeth to reason that Reen doth possess the means to exert her will over Eden, but such a monumental task is not to be taken lightly. What sayest thou, Derman? It might put Reen's life at risk, but so do most things we do. Probably easier said than done, yes? Yes, you're probably right, but I have to try. Very well, Reen. You've made up your mind, so how should we go about this? I have an idea. I've been studying it carefully ever since we arrived, and it seems to me that the light is more concentrated at a certain point. I suppose you could call it the core. That giant Talos had a core too. Like a beating heart, it controlled the flow of ether. If Eden's core is the same, perhaps we could use it to restore the etheric balance? The theory is certainly sound. By employing Ethernet shards as beacons, mayhap we could trace the ethereal flow to Eden's core, and in so doing, secure the means to teleport to the very heart of the beast. Thankfully, the Settlement Council has kindly furnished us with a plethora of apparatus by which to perform such feats. However, we must needs first have Reen study the entity's interior and chart us a suitable course. Once we've reached our destination, I shall fabricate a means by which you may directly communicate with Eden, and mayhap exert a measure of control over it. You can really do that, Arianje? All credit is due to a dear friend, a gentle soul long since departed, who imparted to me a wealth of knowledge concerning etherology. Although I am certain she would be all too quick to chastise my methodology. Excuse me for interrupting this trip down memory lane, but I don't imagine that Eden will be too happy about us rummaging around in its innards, for want of a better term. In all seriousness, though, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of welcoming party arranged for intruders. Perhaps you'd best lead the way, Derman. It's true that he's the only one who can defeat a Light Warden, but I'd rather not rely on him any more than we have to. Yes, I haven't forgotten what happened when he absorbed too much light. But, as Alice said, making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. Now, I wish I could put down wardens myself, but the simple fact is, I can't, and there's no point in pretending I can. That's why I'm asking Derman. Then perhaps I could... You already have a job to do, remember. The only reason this plan even has a chance of success is because of your involvement. We need you to concentrate on the task at hand, and guide us to the core. Not only that, you'll have to keep an eye on Eden itself. If we somehow manage to make it angry, get us out of there. Are you sure you want to go through with this? For lack of any better plans, this one will have to do. But this is what I do best. I won't let you down. Though we will remain here, Reen and I shall do our utmost to guide thee along the ethereal stream. After thou hast breached the exterior, we shall remain in contact via these link pearls, courtesy of our comrades in the Crystarium. Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower, I fear they may be somewhat less reliable than those to which thou art accustomed. I'll manage. Especially when I'm surrounded by 7 much more competent people. They can achieve anything, and I can stand close by with a camera. And there we have it. The first of our little raid battles is now unlocked. Good times. But I'm not going in there by myself, heck no. The teleportation apparatus hath been calibrated successfully, and I believe the probability of irreversible disintegration to be relatively low. That's fantastic news. Thank you, Oriange. We're ready when you are, Derman. And I'm not even close to ready. I need a whole group of people to join me, and it's getting dark out here. Thancred, any thoughts before I go? I can't get this bloody thing lit. Must be because the ether stopped flowing, just as Reen said. Though if this plan of hers and Oriange's actually works, we might have to stop calling this place the Empty. That's true. And I won't tell anyone that you're having a hard time getting the fire lit. We can blame it on the Empty. Anywho, I should go ahead and assemble the crew. They've been very patient. And look at how many people have gathered for today's event. Certainly a lot more than I think are going to be directly involved in the upcoming fight. But look at them. What a good bunch. I'm always so just appreciative of the good folks from the Dantalis Theater Company making time for these raid events, coming out, clearing their schedule, and being sure to be here at a specific time to record these things. It makes my life a lot easier, and it makes these a lot more just special and fun. So I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are watching, so I'm very grateful. Thank you. But okay, me and the crew will be partying up and getting in there shortly. I'll introduce them once we're inside, but prior to that point, let's do the traditional reading. Eden's Gate Resurrection. Reen's discovery of a vast concentration of light prompts an expedition into the barren wastelands left in the wake of the flood, known as the Empty. There, you encounter the immense and enigmatic Eden, the very first Sin Eater and the progenitor of the destruction that all but consumed the world. Rather than seeking to end this threat once and for all, Reen hopes to use its limitless power to restore the ethereal balance of the Empty and breathe life into the planet. However, she must first gain control of Eden's core, which is likely to have countermeasures for repelling intruders. Yes, and we're going to become acquainted with some of those countermeasures right now. Let's go. Familiar tunes, yes? Be careful. Huge amounts of ether are rushing to the core. Wait, what's that? The Keeper of Knowledge, Eden Prime. Boy, it's fun hearing Final Fantasy VIII arrangements in here. Let's introduce our players for today. I will be playing a dancer, as you are well aware. There's also some good cosplay going on. You may also notice. Let's see here. So, tanking today will be Horus, dressed as Cypher. Mira, dressed as Squall. Love that the two tanks are gunbreakers. You know, that makes sense. Skinnaman will be one of our healers, dressed as, I want to say Ultimacia, but correct me on that later. I'll check and ask. Falco will also be healing, dressed as, I believe, Selfie. Quite good. Tempopo will be a monk, as Zell. Appropriate. Termin will be a machinist, dressed as Laguna, I think. And Tybalt here will be... Are you a Dia? You are a Dia. Rad, as a red mage. Hopefully I got all that right. We'll find out. But yes, thank all of you good folks for joining me. This is going to be a good time. I'll snap so they're ready to begin the countdown. Fortunately, this boss fight of the Eden series is one of the relatively easier ones. The difficulty will escalate, but I'll do my best. One thing you need to know up front, the walls are insta-kill. Do not touch the little yellow-white light ring on the outside. Here we go. Really, with this fight, there's not a ton of things. Really, it's just like a lot of kind of basic AoE things you need to watch out for, with the exception of like one particular mechanic that you do want to watch for. We want to watch for something called Pure Light. Here's one, though, Vice and Virtue. We're going to want to spread these out, make sure they don't overlap as usual, but also these are going to leave puddles that are dangerous and hurt, so don't want to leave those anywhere where they might do some harm. Leave them somewhere safe. There's another Bison Virtue. That Bison Virtue can take kind of two forms. One is that thing leaving the 4 puddles. Another one targets the 2 tanks with those beam attacks, so they need to position carefully. I'm being an absolutely awful dancer right now. I'm not even set up like a dance partner. What am I even doing? Too busy being cameraman. This is the move. Pure light. As soon as the boss moves to a corner, get behind that boss, because they're going to do a big frontal AoE that is going to fill the entire arena. Except for this little back corner. And they give you lots of time for it, fortunately. But this is sort of, as usual, as is often the case with boss fights in Final Fantasy XIV. The first half of the fight is mostly just introducing you to the different kinds of moves that the boss might throw at you. Second half of the fight, the boss throws those same moves at you, but overlapping. So learn what all the moves are first time through, because you're going to need to adapt. But now Dimensional Shift is coming up, and we're going to enter a new phase of the battle. You see these little light orbs everywhere? They're going to start targeting us with line AoEs, kind of at random. There's really no way to predict it. The floor is just going to get filled with danger puddles constantly, and we just need to keep on moving. Avoid all the things. But also, the boss just ran to a corner. Take note, we don't want to hide behind that corner too early, because then all of the orbs are going to throw their line AoEs back here, and we'll have nowhere safe to stand. You just want to watch for the boss going in corners. Because when it does, pain is forthcoming. We're doing okay, though. We've seen most of the dangerous stuff the boss is going to do. Now we just need to keep on reacting to it and survive. I guess it does have like a big ultimate attack in an ad phase, but... Oh, there you are. Some big proximity AoEs we want to avoid, but not too close to the edge. And there's some ads. We must take these out. Fortunately, these aren't the kind of ads that you have to, like, spread apart, so you can get them close enough together where you can do some moves that are a bit more AoE and damage them simultaneously. So that's sort of nice. But this group knows what they're doing, and they're doing a fine job. Oh, hello down there. But yeah, now I think big ultimate attack is coming. And it is 100% appropriate for them to go really extra with just a cutscene special boss move for Final Fantasy VIII, the game where the summon animation cutscenes really started getting out of hand. Feels appropriate. This is a really fun raid series. There's some great bosses in this. This is a fairly basic one by Eden boss standards. But I appreciate the warm-up. Because there's going to start being a lot more mechanics I'm going to have to remember for each one of these very quickly. Oop, hiding in a corner. Get behind it. Very good. Whoop. Nope, 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 nope. Spur it out. Doing excellent work, everyone. Oop. Orbs and many beams. Most of the floor is hot lava. Or at least it will be. Whoop. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. And it's going to a corner. That's fine. Whoop. Just gonna zip up here now. Here we are. We are getting further and further into the game to the point where these raid bosses don't melt quite so fast. That's okay, we still win! Good job, everyone, and good looks as well. Quality fashion is what this is. You all did a very good. Much appreciated. I'm proud of this bunch. But yes, I'll be rejoining them quite soon because we'll have another fight quite soon. You know, I'll start grabbing all these things and meet y'all out there to continue the story. See you in a bit. There we are. So we did it. Though we anticipated some form of resistance, I did not foresee Eden generating a smaller replica of itself. To think that a mere fraction of its power could manifest such a powerful adversary is frightening indeed. It seems that we'll have to wait for the ether within Eden to stabilize before we can all teleport to the core. It seems that Thancred's prediction about there being some sort of guardian was right. Fun choice of words. Thankfully, it was nothing that you couldn't handle. Well, it was more really the party around me that handled it and I held the camera, but yes, thank you. And I'm glad to say that you haven't absorbed any light either. So far, so good. Now that the way is clear, the Ethernet shards can send us to the core and back whenever we need. Why don't we give them a try? Let's give them a try. Roll the dice. What's the worst that could happen? Yay. It worked. Hello. Standing around and waiting is hardly my forte, though I dare say I'm more suited to this than whatever Oriange's doing. What is Oriange doing? Though the apparatus is now in place, a number of minute adjustments must needs be made before attempting to assert control over Eden. I'll stop distracting you with questions then. I will distract you with questions. Once Oriange has activated the device, it's my turn. Sounds good. Right, yes. Any of them is fine, thank you. Y'all really don't have to give me gifts. I was going to be here anyway. The time hath come, Reen. Watch over me, Minfilia. Is this supposed to happen? Eden is offering considerable resistance. Not now. Not when I'm so close. Oriange! I am unharmed, but what of Reen? No, you listen to me. Reen, be careful. It do look cool, though. Sometimes you just got to appreciate a thing look cool. Right, gang? This guy knows what I'm talking about. The beast's fury hath subsided. Well, I'm glad that's over. But for how long? Great question. Do you have any idea? Reen appears to have recovered from her battle of wills with Eden. It worked. I'm in control now, I think. Although I'm now linked to Eden, I still need to figure out how to give it commands. Pray tell, what caused it to convulse so violently? It must have been when Eden rose into the air. I'm still struggling to stop it from drifting too far from the camp. Even now thou art... Reen, what's going on? Above us! Something's coming this way. An enemy! But how does that... could it be a Sin Eater? I can't see them clearly, but... No, that's impossible. What is it? They're inside, too. Lots of them, trying to reach the core. Uninvited guests, huh? If I'd known they were coming, I would have tidied the place up. Japes are a poor substitute for a viable stratagem. So is criticism, Oriange, come on. In that case, I suggest that you and I deal with the ones who are already inside. And Durman can welcome our airborne adversary. Okay. Reen, find out if Eden has any defenses we can make use of. Preferably ones that don't recognize us as the enemy. I'm not sure about that, but I can use the ether currents to send you wherever you need to go. That's my girl. All right, everyone, we've got work to do. From what I can tell, Eden is able to form simple structures by redirecting ether, so I'll try to give you something to stand on. When you're ready, head for that portal over there. This I can do. Durman is stylish and ready. And we're ready for the next fight. Very good, but first, cats. Come on, Eden, show me what you can do. And the other two, yep, they ran off. Excellent. Okay, well, let me make sure that the party's all good to go, and I'll just read the little description first. Where are you? Here we are. Eden's Gate, Descent. Having finally overcome Eden in a battle of wills, Reen is now in control of the enormous Sin Eater, which now drifts high above the empty. Your celebrations are short-lived, however, as Reen detects the presence of unknown enemies making their way towards Eden's core. While Thancred and Oriange rush to intercept a swarm of foes approaching from inside, you head to the upper reaches to face the threat from above. And this is a pretty darn cool boss fight as well, so let us commence. Welcome to Descent, and meet Antithesis Manifest, Voidwalker. Rad look, and also one of the more fun boss gimmicks, I think, in this raid series. Though it's a tough pick, there's a lot of good ones. Same group as before, so no introductions required. We can just get on in there. This time, I'll be smart and actually pick a dance partner at the start of the fight. It's really the best time if you think about it.
Servants of the accursed light, this world is not yours to claim.
So, as you can probably guess, we don't want to stand in this. It hurt a lot. But we also do not want to get hit by these little Nyx spawns that are just going to spawn and then slowly move forward across the arena. Definitely want to avoid those.
Gaze into the abyss and despair.
Definitely want to stay inside this little donut AoE. There's really only a couple of moves we need to carefully watch out for. One of them is called Alright, what is that one called? Spell in Waiting, that's correct. Okay. Because there's various other moves that the boss is going to throw out, and they're all reasonably straightforward to deal with, but Spell in Waiting is going to modify some of them. So, this is Darkfire 3. Pretty standard. AoE circle thing, don't overlap it. Carry it far away from everyone else. Here's Unholy Darkness. Pretty standard stack marker, right? So far, so normal.
It's too late to beg forgiveness. Your fate is sealed.
There was Spell in Waiting. What Spell in Waiting does is modify the next move the boss is going to throw out. So, it's using Darkfire 3 again. However, because Spell in Waiting was used, now it's not going off right away. It's counting down. It's delayed. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it goes off. And now the boss is, I think, going to use, yep, Spell in Waiting again, combined with Unholy Darkness. So it's a stack marker, but again, not going off right away. Countdown first. Pretty straightforward on its own, but now from here the boss is going to start using 2 moves at once. Sometimes both of them delayed, sometimes only one of them delayed. And the order in which they go off is going to become a little bit less predictable. So there's a Spell in Waiting, Darkfire. Now comes a Spell in Waiting, probably the stack marker. So we need to figure out which ones to deal with. I think in this case they're going to go off at the same time. So everyone who, let's see. It's easier to tell when the timers start going down. Yep, going off at the same time. So those of us not targeted with Darkfire can stack up. Darkfire folks need to move away.
May shadow blot out the light.
All right, here's Entropy. That's just a big raid-wide damage thing, but I believe it's going to spawn a hand thing. May not do it every time. Maybe it's just something. Yep, there it is. Spawns a Hand of Erebus, which is going to do a big knockback from this edge, so get close to the edge. Don't get knocked off the thing. Oop, there's that one again. There's a few more moves we've not seen yet, but we've got the basic gist. Now we're starting to see combinations. Position carefully. There we go. Look out for that. Keep remembering to do offense on occasion. The fight goes faster that way. All right, here goes Entropy again, and I believe it is going to spawn the hand again. Maybe it doesn't do it every time. I was never clear on that. No, but there is this. Someone needs to be standing in all of these. It hurts you to stand in it, but someone needs to be standing in it to make sure. Oh, no, I'm getting targeted with a delayed thing. There, okay, we just needed to stand in it before the orbs landed. But now I've been hit with the delayed stack marker, so we'll just see how long this takes to start counting down. And a delayed circle AoE thing as well. Okay, mine's going off first. Everyone stay stack up. There we go. And now they need to spread out. It's a really cool mechanic. I love this Spell in Waiting idea. They get a lot of fun out of it. Oh, there's the hand. Okay. And oh, hand and these. Oh dear, someone ran a little too far. That is so easy to do. It is so easy to accidentally run just a little too far toward an edge. Been there, and will be there again. Okay, here's one of the other moves. So, Shadow Eye. One of the players has been targeted with that little gaze eye effect, so we need to look away from that player wherever they're standing when that goes off. Spell in Waiting can affect that one as well, I think. Yep. All right, I'm getting hit with a delayed Shadow Eye. Fortunately, I can stand over here where it's easy for everyone to look away from me. Yep, it was delayed. That's fine. I'll just stay over here. Everyone keep looking away from me. I can just keep on attacking the boss from range. That's fine. And there's the timer. Okay, everyone look away. Oh, I need to get close in, but everyone still look away from me. Okay, good job, everyone. We're doing okay. What a good group. Learning all the mechanics in advance, being prepped. And also being good enough to make up for the, like, very small amount of damage that I'm doing around here. Let's see. Let's get someone standing on each of these. Don't know how long it's going to take for that stack marker to go off, but these first. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this raid series actually does have some of my favorite raid mechanic ideas. Oh, stack marker first. Now those are going off. We almost got this thing. There we go. Beautifully done, everyone. Thank you, Seven, very much for joining and helping me get through these here fights. I appreciate it very much. Excellent bunch of folks, and I love your group cosplay idea. Very well executed. You're all the best. All right, let's get outside. Check on the gang. Derman, thank goodness you're unharmed. We came as soon as we took care of our unwanted guests. They were a stubborn bunch, quite unlike anything I've ever seen in the first. No, I won't let you. Damn the light. Damn you all. Who are you? What do you want? Why am I here? What is happening? She's alive, but there's something strange about her ether. She didn't seem too pleased with Reen taking control of Eden, which may be what caused her to appear out of the blue. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess. 'Tis plain she's not a Sin Eater, not even in part, as Vothri was. Yet this knowledge does little to assuage my fears, for she is nonetheless possessed of a power most terrible. On the other hand, if she's feeling cooperative, she might be able to tell us more about Eden. I'll keep an eye on her until she wakes up. There's no telling what'll happen when she does, but I'll make it clear that we mean her no harm. Well, no further harm, at the very least. Obviously, it's not a good idea to bring her inside Eden. It's likely that reaching the core was her aim from the outset, so I'll take her to the camp. Now that things have settled down, I should get back inside and try strengthening my link to Eden. Sounds good. How do we get off this thing? Oh, like that. I have yet to discover the means by which the exterior was breached, though 'twould appear that the fiends that Thancred and I slew were of a similar nature to those led by thine own adversary. Void sent, in other words. I see. Although I had my hands full trying to control Eden, I caught a glimpse of your battle. That power. I've never seen anything like it. What thou witnessed was the tearing of the very fabric of reality, the creation of a rift through which Voidsent may enter. But pray tell, Reen, didst thou make any other observations?
I couldn't sense any light at all in that girl or her servants. And I can't really explain how, but she reminded me of Emmett Selk.
Though I think it unlikely that she is an Ascian, she may yet be thrall to Zodiark.
Maybe we'll be able to find out more once she's woken up. In the meantime, I'll try to improve my control over Eden. It seems to be listening more than before, instead of screaming at me like it was in the beginning. And that's not all. I've made an exciting discovery.
You're gonna have to wait to tell me, I think. Because that's all the quests we're doing for today. We will find out what this discovery is next time. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you soon again for more story. We're very spookily underlit in here, Derman. Don't know that I care for it. Let's find it. Well, whatever. We're signing off anyway. Have a good one, y'all. I will see you next time for some more story mode. Take care, and goodbye.